New bills would bar individuals convicted of violent crimes from holding federal and DC government jobs. Let's get into this. Recently introduced legislation would prohibit individuals who have been convicted of violent crimes from working with the federal government. The No Violent Criminals and the Federal Workplace Act was introduced by Congresswoman Nancy Mace, Republican of South Carolina. It bars anyone convicted of a violent crime from accepting or holding any position in federal civil service or working on federal contracts, in addition to preventing the federal government from hiring individuals with final convictions for crimes of violence. The legislation would also require termination of any federal employees currently employed with the government to be removed. Other provisions of the bill are: it bars federal contracts with entities controlled by violent criminals or who have violent criminals working on the contract. Includes waiver authority for unique circumstances where contract termination would impose undue burden to the government. Mace also introduced a second related bill focused on government employment and contracts in Washington, D.C., the No Convicts Running the Capitol Act. Prevents anyone convicted of a violent crime from accepting or holding any position within DC government. The bill would do the following: it prohibits DC government from hiring individuals with final convictions for crimes of violence or dangerous crimes, bars DC contracts with entities controlled by violent criminals or who have violent criminals working on the contract, requires termination of current employees and contracts within 90 days. Mace said in a statement about the legislation, "This is common sense. If you have been convicted of a violent crime, you have no business working for the government or cashing taxpayer checks. Hardworking Americans shouldn't have their tax dollars funding the salaries of violent criminals, and the American people should not have to wonder if violent felons are put in position of public trust." Under current law, individuals are not automatically prohibited from working with the federal government if they have criminal records, according to the Office of Personnel Management, OPM. Having a criminal record is not an automatic bar to holding most federal jobs. The agency considers a person's whole character and takes into account other aspects of their background, positive and negative, in considering the effect of an issue on their suitability or fitness for a job. The agency considers how the conduct relates to the job the individual will hold and may also consider things like the seriousness of the conduct, the specific of circumstances surrounding it, how long ago the conduct occurred, or what the individual has done since. Yeah, so more and more changes. This is something that we need to watch as Washingtonians. Most of the convicted uh, felons and people that are returning citizens in this area, they actually hold jobs within the federal and DC government. So this is interesting to hear. I'm looking forward to hearing what the candidates that are running for mayor have to say about this. The DC Council has worked extremely hard to make sure that individuals had a second chance here in Washington, D.C. So this would be a blow to that whole initiative. This is the Awareness District. I am T Shore, keeping you aware of what's going on and around DC and how it affects you. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend.